Welcome back to another episode of the Coach's Corner. I'm Matt Vargo, and today I'm joined by women's basketball head coach Gabby Holko and assistant coach Mike Matisi. Guys, thank you so much for stopping by today.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
So I want to start it off to the very beginning. You guys go way back to Westminster College, and you've had a long-standing friendship because of that. How did that friendship begin, and how has it only strengthened over the years?
Yeah, Mike and I have known each other for more than a decade. We were at Westminster in New Wilmington, Pennsylvania at the same time. I'm a year older than this guy. He came in my sophomore year when we were playing basketball. He played on the men's team. I played on the women's team. Our men's and women's team remind me a lot of how our men's and women's team here at Susquehanna are. We were extremely close. We got to hang out a lot on and off the floor. We were in the gym working out together at the same time. We'd hang out after practice, weekends, that type of stuff. And then Mike was a fourth grade teacher in Ohio. I knew he was coaching basketball. I got into the college game right out of college. So after Westminster, I went and I was a graduate assistant at Misericordia and just worked my way here to Susquehanna. And I had an open spot. What was that, about 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
Years, yeah.
And I reached out to him. I knew he wanted to get into the college game. And at that time, he's like, yeah, not yet. So I was like, all right, that's a miss. And then fast forward about a year and a half later, I was looking for another assistant. My coach from college, Rose Scott, called me up and said, hey, I think Matisi's looking. So I gave him a call again. And I was like, hey, are you interested now? And he's like, yeah, I already quit my teaching job and I'm trying to get into the college game, and brought him here to Susquehanna, and we have been better because of it. He does a really great job with our individual skill development, with our girls getting in, doing individual workouts. And then just because of our long relationship as friends has been phenomenal in terms of our coaching relationship, being able to know what each other thinks, but also we can be very honest with each other, and that's something that I tell him all the time. I love being able to ask him something and he's going to give me the honest answer, not just the answer I want to hear, and he has just made us better.
All right. And for you, Coach Matisi, when the opportunity arose for you to join Coach Holko's staff, what was that like for you?
Like she said, I think I already quit my job. So I knew I was going to get out regardless. So I think the timing of it was perfect. The opportunity was perfect to just make that next step. Because like she said, I coached high school boys for like 5 years. And I knew I wanted to make that jump, but it has been just phenomenal so far with her. And I've learned so much already. And just kind of the second year, I've gotten a little bit more comfortable too, especially doing the women's game. I've been around the men's game for so long, especially playing in it. But it's just been a blast so far in her program around the girls, kind of having my hands in things, and she does a great job of that too, of just kind of letting me be and letting me kind of have a voice too. So that's been great.
All right. And last year was a big step forward for this program. 18-9 overall record, 12-6 on the landmark, won a playoff game for the first time in over 20 years. So looking back on last season, how would you guys describe it?
Amazing. Hard work paying off. Obviously, he's not here with us, but I say the three musketeers, or we're just the three best friends, is Coach E as well. He has been with me, and I know you guys spoke with him last night at Coach's Corner. He's been with me from the start here. He was here my first 2 years, and then he left to go be a high school girls coach, and then he came back for the next three. And the work that we have been putting in from that start is really starting to pay off. A lot of it is getting in the right type of players, getting in that high caliber player that we know can compete in the Landmark. The Landmark is a top 5 women's basketball conference in the country. I mean, we're sending 2 teams religiously to the NCAA playoffs. Last 2 years, we've had 3 in. We just now, the D3 hoops, had the preseason rankings. Scranton's at 3. And then Catholic is at 16, and then Elizabethtown is getting votes. So we have 3 teams in the top 25. So being able to get great players in at Susquehanna that we know are going to succeed academically and athletically has been a big thing. And then with Coach E and myself and bringing Mike along, I think we all bring a different type of game to our program. We bring a different type of personality to our program. We work well, extremely together. And I think that that has been a really big part of our success is the consistency, right? So we've had Coach E and myself for the last 5 years now, going into the 6th year, but 5th season because of COVID. We didn't have that one season. Now having Mike, as he said, first year's a big adjustment as an assistant coach is just being able to see, okay, what type of style is the coaching staff? What type of style are our players? What's our conference look like, non-conference? Now that he has had a year under his belt and him feeling extremely comfortable in our gym, and I'm a very big, I want my assistants to have a voice. So Coach E's our post squad coach, and then we have our G unit coach sitting right next to me. So we break post and guards all the time, and then we join us together. But last year was such an amazing season for us because we were able to finally break through that glass ceiling and show what Susquehanna women's basketball is all about. If you go back that 20 to 30 years, when we were in the MAC and Coach Rebar was our head coach here, they were going to the NCAA tournament here at Susquehanna. They were winning MAC championships. So just trying to get back to that historic women's basketball program that we know we can be here in the Grove.
Okay. And what would you say are the keys for another leap forward this season?
Yeah. I would say it's going to be the consistency, right? The consistency of our players being able to get in the gym as they have been this preseason, during season right now. It would be the chemistry of them being on the court. We are always a very defensively minded team, so being able to hold teams under their averages. And I would just say the biggest thing is going to be the chemistry between our kids and staying healthy. That's obviously on everybody's mind is the healthy factor. But defensively, we gotta be top notch in our league. Our non-conference schedule is not an easy one, so that's exciting for us. But it's gonna just gear us up for conference play.
Yeah, I think you said it yesterday at practice. You know, like we're not going to be a surprise anymore for a lot of teams. I think that's what we were last year. So coming into this season, I think it's going to be more so of a mindset of going into every game with an X on our back. Like we know we've got to come out, perform, get mentally right, physically right, and just knowing that we're going to get everybody's best shot. And so kind of having those expectations is a lot by itself, I think. But that's kind of what we want. You know, you'd rather go into a season like that with expectations of breaking through rather than still rebuilding or still trying to break through. So I think that's going to be a new challenge for us as well, but it's a good one to have.
And you guys finally got back into action with a scrimmage at Kutztown on Monday night. So looking back on the scrimmage, what did you guys like and what did you see that you think needs some improvement before the real games begin?
Yeah, going to Kutztown is always a good thing. We haven't done it in about 3 years. Last year we only had one scrimmage because we went down and played the U.S. Naval Academy in a Division I exhibition. But going down to Kutztown on Monday night, it was a good test for us. It was a challenge. They just got preseason ranked 3rd in the PSAC East, and we gave them a game. We had it up to, what was it, 4 going into the fourth quarter. So we had it down to 4 going into the fourth quarter. We've changed a little bit of our ball screen motion. I'm a very big ball screen coach, so our guards coming off of it, I think we're really deadly coming off of it, but we have some really athletic post players as well that can read, okay, are we switching? Are we slipping it? Can we ghost it? Can we pop behind? So we really loved our offensive effort. I thought that there were a little bit of changes we can make defensively. Our kids are actually in the gym right now. We said what we needed to work on, and they just decided to get in when we're not there. That unseen work of working on some closeouts, working on some gap help. We rebounded the ball extremely well. We had 18 offensive rebounds, and we held Kutztown to 7 offensive rebounds, so we really controlled the glass, and we knew we needed to. And that was being undersized. They had a 6'2" kid and a 6'1" kid, and our kids just worked extremely hard on the glass, being one and done. And then offensively, 2 players stand out to me, and they stood out to me last year as well, Julia Pinkert and then Julia Roth. So our 2 Julias, they came out of the gate just hot. Scoring at 3 levels. They were able to score inside, mid-range, and 3. And those 2, we just need a couple other players to kind of get their feeling right, that confidence to be able to shoot the ball with confidence, and it's going to fall for us.
And as for the regular season, it'll start off in Pittsburgh with the Chatham University Tournament on November 8th and November 9th. So what is the vibe around the team to finally get back out there and play the regular season games?
I think for Kutztown too, I thought we'd come out nervous, and I don't think we did that. So I think that's only good for us going into the November 8th and 9th tournament because we've kind of got that taken care of. And so like Saturday, even when we go to Gallaudet, I think there's really no, whereas in the past, I think we go into things like not ready to play. So I think November 8th and 9th will just show that we're just ready to play. But I'm also looking forward to like that first actual competition too. There's for sure a difference between scrimmages and actual games, obviously. But I think our girls are ready to play, and I think I've seen from them too, they're just ready to take that next step. It's going to be a good challenge. St. John Fisher is pretty good. Penn College is pretty good. We played them last year. So it's going to be two good games, and I think it's going to be an opportunity for our girls to show not only that we're ready to make that next step, but our players that are now becoming juniors, seniors, they're just ready to make that next step in the Landmark as well.
And my final question is that the program got selected to compete in the D3Hoops.com Classic in Las Vegas in late December. I believe it's the 28th and the 29th. So how huge of an opportunity is this for the team and the program as a whole to be on such a big stage for Division III?
Yeah, D3 Hoops, giving them their flowers, they're phenomenal. They cover the entire, both men's and women's D3 league phenomenally. They get a lot of content out. They're preseason ranking people mid-season, and to be invited down to Vegas, and we're playing Colorado College, who won their league, I believe, last year. They were a 20-win team, and then Wittenberg, who was just on the cusp of a 20-win season. It's going to be a challenge going down there. Obviously, we're going to be leaving Philadelphia the day after Christmas. So December 26th, we're flying out at 7:30 in the morning. So Christmas, hey, we're having a great time with family, and then we're on the plane heading to Vegas, and it's going to be about business. We say all the time it's a business trip going away, and especially having the opportunity to go somewhere on a big stage, as you said, is going to be exciting for our program, but I think our program is ready for it. We are, as Coach said, very senior, junior heavy, sophomore heavy, and our kids have now accepted that target on their back, and they want to make that change, and they want to leave this program better than they found it, and it wasn't in bad shape. That's the good thing about it. This has been a 6-year build to where we are now. So being able to go down to Vegas, play two really great Division III women's basketball programs that are going to most likely be in that top 25 throughout the season, it's going to be a really big challenge, but it's a challenge that our team is willing to accept.
Amazing. And with that, that's been another episode of the SU Coach Corner. Thank you guys so much for watching.